Hello and welcome to another Tunisian crochet tutorial. Today we will be working together to make this beautiful Japandi lace shawl. For your shawl you will need 2 balls of Friends Extra Fine Merino. I got this from a hobby and it's very nice superwash merino. This is fingering weight yarn, so it's number 2. It has got 50 grams of yarn in a ball, and for the whole shawl you will need 2 of those. For the project I've also used 5mm Tunisian crochet hook with an extension, and for today I'll be demonstrating with this, which is Starcraft Chunky, and I'll be using 9mm Tunisian crochet hook, and that's just for demonstration so you can see the stitches better. But really, if you want your shawl to look just like mine, you will need to use fingering weight yarn. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So the shawl is worked from the bottom up, and you will have a different number of increases on the left and on the right edge. So we are starting from here, from this point, and then increasing on both sides along your edges. And you'll probably see it on the picture in the thumbnail, that one of the sides is steeper than the other, and that makes the asymmetrical shape, and this is even further enhanced with blocking. So I really like steam blocking. However, for this project, and this was accidental wet blocking, this beautiful lace texture really opened up to this degree because I had to soak the project in the water and then block it like that. Accidentally, it's because after I created made the shawl, I've noticed that there was kind of like a dirty stain across the shawl. Couldn't really quite figure out what was it and how that happened. So I just decided to soak the shawl in the water, use my wool wash. So I managed to wash it out, and the bonus was that the lace really opened up on me. So that's how you get this beautiful texture. So really we will be using 2 types of stitches, rather 1 stitch and yarn over. So we will be using Tunisian knit stitch and yarn over, and we will be increasing into the back horizontal bar. So I'm just going to demonstrate that in a moment, and we will be using also yarn overs as an increase stitch. So the stitches will be aligned between rows, so you can see that I'll be working Tunisian knit stitch into Tunisian knit stitches and yarn over yarn overs. To start with, we will create a slip knot like so. We'll insert a hook into the loop, tighten it slightly, and chain 3. So we will work chain as yarn over or yarn around the hook and pull through the loop on the hook, and we will work 3 of those. Row number 1 is Tunisian crochet foundation row, so we will turn the chains around and insert the hook under the back bump of the next chain, yarn over and pull up a loop, and we will do that once more, yarn over, pull up a loop. So for the row number 1 we will have 3 loops on our hook, or that's corresponding to 3 stitches, and the count of your loops that is in the pattern at the end of each row is at the end of forward pass. So once you work your stitches before you start working the return pass. So we just work the forward pass, that's when we add loops on the hook, and now we're going to go on to return pass. So we'll work the loops of the hook, and we will end up with just 1 loop left on the hook. So we will do that by yarning over and pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2, all the way until you have only 1 loop left on the hook, and this is also known as standard return pass. So we are not doing any increases or decreases during the return pass. We are just maintaining the number of stitches that we had on the forward pass on the return pass. We will start the row number 2 with an increase, and this is the increase under the back horizontal bar. So I'm going to show you what I mean is, as we worked the stitches or the loops of the hook, we were creating chains between the vertical bars. So this is the front loop of the chain and this is the back loop of the chain. So what we are going to do now, we are going to insert the hook under the back chain. The first one can be quite tight, so we just need to be a bit patient with it. Yarn over and pull up a loop. That's it. And this is the increase A. We will then work Tunisian knit stitch. Tunisian knit stitch is worked between the front and back vertical bars. So we are going to go with the hook between these. We are going to insert the hook from front to back between the two bars, yarn over and pull up a loop. And we will work one more increase, again very slowly. This is the chain here between the vertical bars. So this is known as the horizontal bars, front and the back. We will insert the hook under the back horizontal bar, yarn over and pull up a loop, and then we will work an end stitch. End stitch will be worked at the end of each row. So again, if you turn the work towards yourself, you will see that you've got two strands of yarn, one on the right, one on the left. So we will go and insert the hook under both of these, yarn over, pull up a loop, like so. So we started with 3 stitches or 3 loops for the foundation row, and now we've done 2 increases, one on the right edge, one on the left edge on the row number 2, and we ended up with 5 loops. So we've got 2 increases for row number 2, and we will work standard return pass. So we'll yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way to the end. We will start row number 3 with an increase again under the front horizontal bar. So we've got the back loop of that chain or of the back horizontal bar there. I'm going to insert the hook from front to back, yarn over, pull up a loop. That's 1 increase. And then we will start working the stitch pattern. The basic stitch pattern for the whole shawl is working yarn overs and Tunisian knit stitches. So we see that there is a stitch there and then there is Tunisian knit stitch. So we will start with yarn over. So place the yarn from back to front, anchor it under the hook, that's yarn over, and then Tunisian knit stitch into the next stitch. Again, yarn over, and then work an increase A. So we will work the stitch under the back horizontal bar, yarn over and pull up a loop, and an end stitch. So this is row number 3, and we will have 7 loops on the hook at the end of row number 3. Go 2, 4, 6, 7, and then work standard return pass. For row number 4, we will start with a double increase on the right edge. So we will work yarn over, and we will also work increase A. So we'll work under the back horizontal bar, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then we start lining the stitches. So we'll need to work Tunisian knit stitch into the next, yarn over, repeat that for the rest of the row. Tunisian knit, yarn over, Tunisian knit, we'll also work an increase and an end stitch. So we'll now have 10 loops on the hook because we've increased 2 stitches. Previously we had 7 loops. We increased 2 stitches on the right edge and 1 stitch on the left edge, so we should have 10 loops. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then work standard return pass. For row number 5, you will start with an increase A, so work 1 stitch under the back horizontal bar, yarn over, pull up loop, and then followed by Tunisian knit stitch, yarn over, Tunisian knit stitch, and so on until the end of the row, where we increase 1 stitch again using the increase A and an end stitch. So for row number 5, we only increased 2 stitches, one on the left, one on the right. So we will have 12 loops on the hook, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12, and followed by standard return pass. We will start the row number 6 with a double increase again. So work yarn over, increase A, split by yarn there, okay, increase A, and then start aligning the stitches. So we will start with yarn over, Tunisian knit stitch, yarn over, Tunisian knit stitch, repeating the simple stitch pattern for the rest of the row, ending with increase A and an end stitch. By now you've surely mastered the end stitch and the increase as well. And again, working standard return pass. So row number 6 had double increase on the right edge again. So you will have 15 loops on your hook when you finish the forward row for row number 6. So as you might have noticed, we always increase just 1 stitch on the left edge and increase 2 followed by 1 stitch in alternating fashion on the right edge. So this is what we are going to be doing for the rest of the project. You always have double increase followed by a single increase on one edge and single increase on the other edge. We'll start the row number 7 with an increase A. So this is the row where we have a single increase on the right edge, and you will then start aligning your stitches. So you will continue with yarn over, this is counted as a stitch, not an increase, Tunisian knit stitch, yarn over, Tunisian knit stitch, and so on for the rest of the row, finishing with an increase A and an end stitch. So for row number 7, you will have 17 loops on your hook once you finish the row. And as you can see, now as we worked through the few of the rows of the stitch pattern, you will see that there is a different angle of the on the left and right edge. The right edge is a bit steeper than the left, the other way around. So the left edge, and again for row number 7, no news, standard return pass. You will then work row number 8, and row number 8 is a repetition of row number 4. Row number 9 is a repetition of row number 5. You will then work row number 10, which is essentially the same you will maintaining the increases as you established previously and working yarn overs and Tunisian knit stitches in between. And from then on, then you will follow by row number 11, which is repetition of row number 7. And from then on, for rows 12 to rows 15, you repeat stitches, you repeat rows 4 to 5, 10 and 7 again. And for the remainder of the shawl, which are rows 16 to 67, we will repeat rows 12 to 15 over and over. We will finish with rows 68 to 70, which will be the repetition of rows 12 to 14. And when you finish the shawl, on the last row, which will be the row number 70, you should have 175 loops on your hook. Row number 71 is a bind off row, and that's what I'm going to demonstrate next. So for the bind off row, we are going to be working a stitch pattern bind off. So we worked Tunisian knit stitches and yarn overs in the stitch pattern, and that's what we are going to be working. So here in this small swatch, the first stitch I would be Tunisian knit stitch. So we will work as if Tunisian knit stitch, but we will not keep the loop on the hook. We will also pull it through the loop which was there previously, so we'll have only one loop. Then this would be yarn over, so we are just going to yarn over and pull it through the loop. The next is Tunisian knit stitch, so we will bind off as for Tunisian knit stitch. The next is yarn over, so we will yarn over, pull through the loop, which is essentially chain 1. And we will continue binding off the project for the rest of the row, and we will also bind off the end stitch in the same way, as if working end stitch, and then you will pull it through, so you will end up with only one loop on the hook. You can then cut your yarn, weave your end and block your project. On the bind off row, you will not work any more increases anymore, and also I would advise you to bind off the last row fairly loosely. It doesn't have to be so loose that it will become uneven. However, bear in mind that you will be stretching the project and pinning it down, so you don't want the last row to be so tight that you won't be able to stretch the top edge of your project. So I'm going to now bind off the end stitch, and that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this simple tutorial for this beautiful lace shawl. As always, please let me know what yarn would you use for your project and what other projects and tutorials you would like me to make for you. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.